how many times, he really harps on this, you know how many times the word capitalism appears in the document?
849.
None. You wouldn't know that from reading the press accounts, where you'll find phrases like...
Did we rehearse any of this, Jim?
No, we did.
That is astounding. No references to capitalism.
I know. I did an electronic search on the document just to make sure. There are none. But you find these phrases in news stories like the Pope condemns quote-unquote unfettered capitalism. He didn't even use the word.
Okay, so this is very important. Mm-hmm. Our good friend, Father John Trigilio, did a marvelous fisking takedown of something Rush Limbaugh said about the Pope's apostolic exhortation, and he went after this unfettered capitalism. It's consumerism the Pope was going after in that phrase, correct?
Well, he does go after a number of different things that are sometimes associated with capitalism, but he doesn't condemn the system. What he's talking about are abuses. And that's a very different thing.
And the presupposition that we're all basically angelic and we always work for the common good and other people. And so when individuals become extremely wealthy, of course they're going to naturally give to the poor, as Jesus predicted they would.
Oh, of course, yeah. They'll be incredibly generous. One thing that there are some statements in here that have been taken out of context, and it's really on the subject of economics, and it's easy to show that they're out of context by simply comparing it to some of the other statements that the Pope makes, like the Pope loves the rich. Okay, you would never have guessed that he said that, but he did. He said the Pope loves the rich and the poor. So he's not rejecting anybody. In fact, we're trying to reach out to everybody and help them grow closer to Jesus is the major emphasis of this Pope.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Also, he says that business is a noble virtue, and he talks about how private property needs to be respected because it encourages development of wealth to improve the betterment of all. And he says a bunch of things that, if you took them out of context, would sound ragingly pro-capitalist. So he's really not talking in terms of systems. He's talking and condemning a system. He's talking about good and bad aspects of the way the economy is run today.
So let me play the role of a bad religion reporter.
Okay.
Then why is your Pope such a communist?
Well, if you read, as I said, if you take a look at some of his statements and rip them out of context, he'd sound like a raging capitalist, just the opposite. So,
one major way to misread this entire document is to forget that it's about evangelization, not economics.
Right. That's kind of the point of the document. He has a couple of sections in it, one earlier on, one later on, where he does get into the economy, not for its own sake, not to talk about economics, but because there are people in this world who are poor, and that's a challenge in their lives, and that's something that we need to help deal with. That's been a part of the Christian message since the very beginning, and it's certainly the case today. Those people need to be reached with the gospel like everyone else, and he feels a particular need to talk about how the poor can be helped as part of the overall message of evangelization, or the overall project of evangelization. They can't just be left out, and those who are fortunate enough to be in economically favored conditions can't simply draw in on themselves and forget those other people. They need to relate to them in multiple respects, including they need to be evangelized by the poor as well as evangelizing the poor. Mutual evangelization is something that the Pope really stresses in this document.
This is Catholic Answers Live. It's a special edition of the broadcast in honor of the Blessed Virgin Mary's Immaculate Conception. I want to note a phrase I learned in Maine, because I'm going to be in Maine in 2 weeks. On the 14th of December in South Portland, I'll be at the Catholic Men's Conference there at the Doubletree Hotel in South Portland. If you want more information on how to register, I understand there are a couple of seats left. Go to thepresence.fm. On the right-hand side, you'll see a link to click and get yourself registered. Catholic Men's Conference. The term, Jimmy, I learned from a gentleman named Tony Stern. I'll never forget him. I was giving a talk in Augusta, Maine on the Eucharist, and I was talking about the phenomena I know you you know I'm referring to, of Protestants especially, but Catholics do it too, where they read a biblical text or they hear the text their whole life and they never really connected. Unless you eat my flesh and drink my blood, you have no life in you. They didn't have a Eucharistic understanding. And I said, we need to coin a phrase for that. And Mr. Stern held his hand up and said, how about ignorating?
Ignorating.
Yeah,
I kind of like that.
Yeah, and it definitely applies here to misunderstanding and the ignoreading of the writings of Pope Francis. We're covering the misapplication and misunderstanding and misuse of the words and deeds of our great Holy Father, Pope Francis, here on Catholic Answers.